Welcome to the AIR We Weeb. I am Pro Keijo player and with me today are my co-hosts.
Hello, I'm Shawna and I've lost the will to live.
I'm right there with her.
That was Weeb, and I'm Tim.
Oh yeah, we.
You forgot your name because of all the boobs and the butts you've consumed.
I just woke up like literally 5 minutes ago.
We are recording this at the crack of noon, but not the butt crack. Is it the butt crack?
Oh no!
As you can guess by our mention of body parts, this week we covered Keijo, which, as you can tell, we are all super enthusiastic about.
Listen, no one can cover Keijo, because Keijo's all about being uncovered, if we're being honest.
It's true.
So, Keijo is about a sport where women stand on a floating platform and they have to hit each other off the platform with their boobs and their butts only. It is as ridiculous as it seems / worse. It follows one character who's basically new to the Keijo world, and we're basically in school with these characters. And
she wants to be the richest.
Yeah, she wants to be the richest, which I think is it's a great motive. It's hilarious. I like that she wants to be the richest. But that's basically the show. Let's talk about it.
What did everyone think? Weeb, I like to start with you this week.
Absolutely horrible. Perhaps
Did you even finish?
Okay, so here's the thing with that.
Wait, let me guess.
What I'm hearing is you got 3 episodes in.
Let me guess. I think we've got 6 episodes in.
Oh, wait, hold on. I don't even know. Let me check. Tim, what's your guess?
I'm gonna say 5.
It's either 5 or 6.
I'm gonna guess 5. I don't even know. I have to open Crunchyroll.
Well, while you're looking for that, Tim, what did you think of the show?
Absolutely most ridiculous show I've ever seen. And I kind of knew it was going to be like that going into it, but it still, exceeded my expectations.
5.
5?
Yeah, I finished 5 and I was about to start 6.
You didn't even get halfway.
It's so bad.
You didn't even get to what I consider the good parts of the show.
Oh, there's good parts. That's interesting. I know this is going to be strange coming out of my mouth, but I'm disappointed because I thought that Keijo was going to be ridiculous and horrible, but I thought it was going to be self-aware and a little subversive, making fun of all of these ridiculous things, but it really didn't. It just did all the ridiculous things. And, the absurdity comes in the actual gameplay of the sport. That's what's, absurd. But how they handle it, they don't handle any of the tropes for shonen or fan service or any of that stuff particularly, cleverly. It's just all recycled and seriously gross. So that was disappointing. I was ready to just laugh and have a great time. But I did not.
Oh, I laughed a bunch, but I don't know if it was.
You did?
I don't know if it was good laughing. It was why am I watching this laughing?
It was, you needed the laughter to cope.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like the show because it's so absurd.
I'm disappointed in you.
It's so off the wall. It takes itself so seriously, and that's what makes it funny to me.
I just feel like if it wasn't so gross, the boobs and the butts don't really bother me, but it's all the weird sex stuff that they put in it that I don't like.
I feel like if they would have taken that all out of it and just done a completely almost just action but with boobs and butts, it would have been so much better.
Yeah, if they had done more gags, and I'm totally cool with it being serious on the sports end, because basically they're just coming at each other with their ultimate boobs and butts moves, which they apparently have superpowers with. I don't know. And that's
Exactly.
funny.
It's really. Didn't you not see some of the puns? They're so great.
What were they? I know at the end of the show they called it the rear end.
There's the Shiryokans. A Shiryokan is an uppercut from Street Fighter. So the Shiryokans is an uppercut with your boobs. There's the Gate of Bootylon, which is a reference to Fates.
Oh, I love that one with the butt sticking out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was the Attack on Titan one.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. The Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Did that really happen? Was that a thing that I missed?
It even matched to like the font of the logo from the
Yeah.
actual show.
There's some more really good ones that I forget.
Okay, I know that we were going to talk about this, but I have to know now. What was everyone's favorite ultimate move?
I really like the Gate of Booty, where she just copies everyone else's powers.
Oh, yeah. I feel like she'd be way more intense than they actually portrayed her. Like, if you can copy everyone's, like, special moves, you're going to be the best.
I'm pretty sure there's a manga for this that this is based on, so I'm sure it goes way more into detail.
Oh, it totally does. It was like setting up like a hardcore season 2 forward arc at the end there.
I hate that. That's the worst news I've gotten all day.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Tim, what was your favorite?
I gotta give a shout out to the vacuum butt cannon.
Which we've talked about quite a bit on our Discord server. We're a fan of the vacuum butt cannon, just in name.
And of course, it's like the most powerful move. I also really enjoyed watching Cerberus.
Yeah, the butt that turns into a dog and chases everyone.
I think that was my favorite because she would just stand there and like slide around backwards.
I love the explanation for it too, is she can feel the vibrations in the land, so she doesn't need to turn around.
Okay, but they say that, and then right before they said that, didn't one of them jump in the air to avoid that very thing?
Yeah, but she could feel the vibrations in the air.
See, I don't like that because I feel like they should have just leaned into the fact that people have these absurd powers. They kept backing out on them. Like with Cerberus, they did that. And then with the girl that she like hypnotizes herself, she like believes in fairies and her butt gets like super hard. It's like these people clearly have supernatural butt powers. Like, why are we not leaning into it? Like, why are we pretending that this is still on the natural plane?
When the magic girl gets knocked out, there's just cards flying out of her butt.
All the cards coming out of her butt was
Yeah.
funny. I liked that.
Should we get into spoilers?
Yeah. Right, we forgot. We just
Would you
started.
guys recommend this show?
No.
I would not recommend this because this is just a terrible experience. But like, I would recommend people watch the trailer just to experience the absurdity. I would not recommend actually sitting through it.
I recommend looking up one of the YouTube videos of all the special moves, and that's all you need.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar to that. I definitely could not recommend this to somebody who has like never seen anime before, because that would just completely ruin them from ever watching anything else again.
I think this has ruined anime for me, and it's not even my first one. It was... I don't want to say the worst show I've ever seen. What was that one that we reviewed forever ago?
Is My Little Monster that you gave it 2?
That's even worse.
No, My Little Monster is not worse than Keijo.
Okay, you're right. This is pretty bad.
You know what? This is like a perfect example of when Hayao Miyazaki said that anime is a mistake. This is exactly what he's talking about.
No, this is his favorite show.
It's his favorite.
When he watched this, he said, "Now this is why anime was created."
Let's talk about like some of the positive points, and there's only a few. One of them has to be probably just the movement in the animation. I liked how the butts move.
The animation is pretty top tier, you gotta admit.
Yeah.
And like the character designs are also great.
Yeah, that's true. I liked that there was a lot of different like body types that you don't like usually see. For women, that was interesting. Like there were some like really like built characters, which was interesting.
There was that teacher who they kept calling a seal.
I liked her as a character.
Yeah, she was great.
I just felt like normally any overweight characters like aren't treated super well, so the fact that she was like actually a character and not just an overweight character, I liked that.
The characterization of a lot of the characters was pretty good, actually.
I didn't really care about anyone, though. Like, I thought that I was going to care about that purple girl, because they seemed like they were building her up to be a little bit of a villain, like in the first scene.
A
that
psychopath?
Yeah, and then she just wasn't interesting after that, and I was like, oh, darn it.
She's just like the token yandere girl for now.
I felt like Miyata girl should have been the protagonist because she was more interesting than the one we got.
Yeah, Nozomi. Yeah, Miyata was definitely, we got more, like, character building for her. We don't know anything about Nozomi, really. Like, she wants to make money, and she's, like, a go-getter, and that's it. Who was everyone's favorite character? Did you have a favorite?
I think Miyata is mine just because I thought she was the most interesting character.
You really like them wedgies, huh?
Ugh, I can't with that. I can't with any of this stuff.
Weeb, you missed the final battle where she, like, exposes her nipple and uses it to throw somebody.
The judo throw.
No.
I felt like they really went hard at the end of the show with really adding a lot of extra nipple content, which I was not a fan of. I like the butt content personally because that's more funny to me. But you know that when the nipples became the drills and they like drilled into people.
Oh, you mean the Gurren Lagann reference?
Oh, right.
I feel like y'all are messing with me right now. This could not have happened.
Listen, Olba is best girl.
I have to Google who this is.
I like how she didn't want to talk because she was scared about her accent.
I was angry at her. I was like, why did you come to this school and like not talk to anybody and like screw everybody
Listen,
up?
she just wants to feel some butts to get her power up.
They were all very quick to let her feel their butt later when they knew that
People
that's how
are
she.
all very okay with just getting groped.
Yeah, I did not like that. But in all seriousness, at the end when they're like, "Oh yes, you can like take our butt powers," it's like you realize when you all go pro, she's gonna have all your powers now.
I like how the show culminates in a great war between the two schools in Japan.
I liked that there was like a tournament. That was fun.
The stakes sort of increased.
Yeah, a little. There wasn't really any stakes though.
There's like an actual cost to using the vacuum butt cannon.
Yeah, but then they never return to it. They're just like, it's dangerous. And she's like, oh well, and then no one cares anymore. And then they're like, oh y'all, your hips are extra flexible, so you're gonna be fine. And then the stakes were gone.
Okay, well, can we talk about the worst character in the show?
Is it Mio?
Oh, I hate her.
Is that blonde one?
Yes, it's the blonde one that literally everything is just about, like, sex stuff with her, and I hate her.
Yeah, she is the worst.
And the worst part is that they make her out to be the best, and it's like, ugh, why is this one the best?
She also has the worst move because she just hypnotizes people with her boobs.
That was actually funny.
It was pretty funny.
That was her only acceptable move. All the other ones were literally disgusting.
How come she never... Did she ever use that in the final battle at all?
No. Why would we use hypno boobs when we've already seen it as?
No, in the final battle, she basically was just pleasuring the twin girls.
Which is, like, so disturbing.
Especially since they look pretty underage.
There is a synonym for the title is Hip Whip Girl. And, like, I think it is a reference to Nozomi being the main character and her thing being whipping her butt for the vacuum butt cannon.
I like how it made use of her gymnastics background.
Yeah, that was cool.
It is cool that Miyata's final move that wins her race is, like, based on her judo background, too. That had a good payoff.
They really, it didn't take much for her dad to accept that she's basically, you know, naked all the time.
Her special move is ripping her swimsuit.
He's like, you can't leave judo. And then she's like, I love Keijo. And he's like, no, it's terrible. And then he goes and he sees her and he's like, JK, you're happy. That's all that matters. And it's like, no, Dad, that's not all that matters.
When you see him watching, you can't tell if he's proud or disturbed.
He's definitely disturbed. He's just like, I hate this sport, but at least you're happy, I guess. What are the bad points?
The groping.
Yeah, I hate the constant groping. I hate all the stuff that's like basically getting into like hentai territory. It's like, this is not even just fan service. This is like over the top. It is gross.
Too far.
What else? It's boring. There's not really a good story. Like, we don't know anything about Nozomi. I don't care about her.
Nozomi's definitely the most bland character.
Yeah, I don't really like any of the characters. I don't like dislike most of them, but no one's really interesting.
I did like the training stuff.
Yeah.
I never thought I would ever see people push tires with their boobs, but now I can say I have.
Okay, normally I'd be like right there with you. I always love the training arcs. We all know this.
Yeah.
This one was trash. Everything about the show is trash.
You didn't enjoy the butt figure eights they were doing?
I couldn't figure out how I couldn't figure out how they moved their butts to make the figure eights. Like, I couldn't see the shape. It just looked like they were
It was definitely not a figure eight. They were just twerking.
I was like, where's the figure eight? I want to understand this. And I couldn't.
Shawna really out here analyzing anime workouts that aren't real.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you call it a butt figure eight, man, I better be able to see the figure eight you're drawing with your butt. Otherwise, I'm going to have a problem with it.
So I was totally expecting hate of the show, but this is even more than I was expecting. I expected more laughing at the fact that this show is just absurd.
I think it's just because I've been so, like, I knew what was coming that it didn't strike me as absurd. And I was just so looking forward to it being subversive and, like, making fun of A, sports animes, B, fan service, and then, like, all the tropes in between. And it's like, yeah, there were, like, some jokes and references, but for the most part, it just was gross.
Can you believe Warner Bros. Is on the producer list for this?
Trying to cash in on the boobs.
Everyone's cashing in on the boobs.
Weeb, was it what you thought it was gonna be?
It was so much worse, and here's why. I was told it was funny, and it wasn't at all funny. It was just bad.
I agree.
I laughed once during, like, the whole Cerberus thing, I think. When it started, like, growling, I started laughing then. I'll admit.
Yeah, see, you laughed once. That's all that matters.
I laughed once in the span of 5 episodes. That's not enough.
Well, you guys said you laughed during, or Shawna said she laughed at the cards falling out the butt thing.
Yeah, I liked that. I'm not sure if I laughed. I can't remember what I actually laughed at.
How could you not laugh at Butt Tack on Titan, though?
I don't know, because if you're not, here's the thing, if you're not, like, enjoying your watch experience, you're less likely to, like, have an audible laugh. You're like, you'll see something and be like, oh, that's kind of funny.
See, I just shut off my brain and was just like, I'm along for this ride. Let's go. That's how you have to experience the show.
I would argue that no one has to experience this show and they should run.
Everyone must experience the show, so they must know. We must never let it happen again.
Never let it happen again.
But also, like, we should remake Keijo to be even better.
What studio did this?
Expec. They have done Shaman King, and they have done To Love Ru, and that's the only things I know of note. They do a lot of Eki stuff.
I liked the animation, like, no complaints.
Yeah, the animation was good, but if all their content is like this...
Have you watched Shaman King, though? Because Shaman King kind of great. Shaman King is a traditional shonen. It's not Eki at all.
Yeah, they don't exclusively just do Eki. They do other stuff, but it does look like they have a decent amount of Eki stuff in their catalog.
Did you guys like the OP?
Oh, I loved it.
I didn't love it at first, but I thought it fit. I skipped it mostly, but I was like, oh, this is fitting. Like, this is the way it feels and, like, how bouncy and upbeat it is. It feels like a good fit for, I guess, Nozomi's character in general.
It's got some spoilers in it about the battles that are to come.
Oh, does it?
It, like, has the scene where it, like, has cutouts of each battle that Nozomi has.
Okay.
It's just like, well, we know she versus that person, she versus that person. Oh, there's the ribbon girl.
It's okay. Did we really need to not be spoiled on that?
No, it's fine on this show completely.
It would have been better if I cared about her journey at all, but I didn't. Like, I don't have a problem with her motivation being money. I think that's hilarious. We just didn't know anything about her. We had no reason to like her. We didn't even really see her working harder than everybody else. Like, she had some struggles, but she always just figured it out.
She wore that suit for like 3 months.
That was disturbing. I hated that suit. Just for people who have not seen Keijo, she had to do special training where she had to rip out turnips from the ground using her butt.
Her hips, specifically.
Yeah, her hips. Like, so she would tie a rope to her hips and tie a rope to the top of the turnips, and she'd have to rip them out of the ground. And she had to do that without breaking the turnip. And she kept breaking all the turnips, and that was the biggest hardship of the entire show.
I'm learning this right beside y'all, so I'm equally as for real? That happens? Wait, is it a whole arc or is it like one thing?
It's one episode. It's nothing.
Oh, I was like,
but like,
that's an arc.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't care about her. We don't really see her ever doing anything.
Did you like one with like the black to white hair? She seemed cool.
I wanted to like her, but she lost most of her mystique by just being their teacher.
She's definitely a 1 if we had to Enneagram type her. She's like very perfectionist about like the way people look and like how they handle themselves.
Yeah, she definitely could be a 1. Good job, Az.
We always got to Enneagram type people.
Now I want to Enneagram everyone on this show. I'll Enneagram the boobs and the butts all separately.
Each boob individually or like as a pair?
Individually or as a pair. The boobs will be Enneagrammed together.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, that we could do an Enneagram segment for like one character.
No, for every single character.
It just becomes an Enneagram anime podcast. Wow. What a specialized interest show we have.
Tell us about what your favorite boob or butt was.
Did you guys see at the end when the seal teacher was literally just a giant boob?
Oh, yeah.
They made her a giant boob, and like that was the first
The
time
last.
we see a giant nipple and a giant boob, and I was like, I can't.
Very last ending card.
Yeah, it was like a mascot.
The more y'all talk about this show, the more I hate this show.
I really wish you watched the whole thing because I wanted your pure rage to come out.
I planned on it and then I fell asleep.
I can't believe you didn't like Kawaii. She's basically a crack energy girl.
Yeah, she is cool. I like her.
I wouldn't say that she has crack energy, though.
I think it was like the first or second episode when they're doing like the first race.
She just comes to help.
Yeah, and she's like punching people in the jaw.
No, she's butt slapping them into the jaw.
And like hurting them. I was like, yes, we got a villain, y'all. And then we didn't have a villain
And then
at
she never
all.
does it again.
Then like her character changes midway through the season and she just becomes nice.
I think she's gonna go back to her crazy evil self. I think the Pro League is where the show really is gonna pick up if they ever get to it, which they never will.
You think so?
The show will never get another season.
It'll come back in like 5 years.
So what about the ending? Did you guys like the opening because it was bubbly and cheery? But did you like the ending?
I don't remember the ending because I was so quick to just turn it
The
off.
song
every
was
time.
okay. It was like a cute little story. It was like a cute little picture story of like a low frame animation story. I like those kind of endings where it's like it tells a story. But then you watch it once and you're like, "Aw, that was cute." And then you maybe watch it a second time to pick up on details and then you skip it like 8 times.
If you're me, you skip it every time.
It's a good thing that this was only 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Half was enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't have suggested this at all if it was 24. Okay. Best ship. That's one other thing we gotta do.
Best ship. Is there even a ship?
There's one ship. It is Nozumi and Miyata.
Or maybe Mio and that crazy girl?
Best ship, they're all disgusting and I hate all of
You don't
them.
like Sayaka and Nozumi?
They were as a like romantic ship?
Nah, it doesn't have to be a romantic ship. They can be a friendship.
Oh, a friendship. Yeah, they were cute as friends.
They kind of played that Sayaka had a thing for Nozumi.
Yeah, I thought I caught that in like one scene and then I was like, "Oh, I think I'm mistaken." Because then it just was like not there ever.
Mostly she was jealous that she'd spend more time with the other girls and no longer be best friends with her.
Wedgie girl.
Wedgie girl. Ugh.
What is her move called? W Force?
It's a. It made no sense.
Here was the explanation. It was that when she removes the swimsuit and exposes her butt cheeks, there's less resistance, so she can move more freely.
But. No.
It's like wearing jeans and shorts when you're running, Weeb. There's a difference.
It's nothing like that.
Is exactly
But
like
okay.
that. Listen, Weeb, you have stuff down there. You don't know how it works. Your bits all hang out. Their bits are all inside.
I think that we're talking about the butt here, though, if we're all just keeping our focus where it needs to be.
Would you watch a version of this show, but it's guys?
No, I wouldn't watch any version of this show.
Would you not watch the show?
That would be ideal.
I would watch this show if it was more serious about like.
If it just leaned hard into the seriousness of the sport, that'd be hilarious. I would have loved that too. Out of 10 ratings.
1.
I'm gonna give it a 4. That's because the voice work, the animation, and the cohesiveness, it makes sense. So it gets 4. but it's disgusting and not really interesting. But I do like some of the battles, so, like, it's not, like, the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's also like, ugh, please stop.
Weebers?
Oh, I said 1. I don't know if y'all heard it, but I want to change that from a 1 to a 0.5, or maybe a 0.25.
So he gives it a DNF.
Basically.
That should be the new Weeb rating if he doesn't finish a show. It's just a DNF.
Did not finish.
It's like a 0, but it does. You can't give it a 0 because you didn't actually finish it.
Okay, it's 12 episodes, and we had more than 14 days. We had like 16 days to watch it, and I still couldn't. It's so bad.
Tim?
Oh, man, so hard. I want to give it a masterpiece, but I'm going to give it a 4. Because I think it's bad, but there's some entertaining things about it. And I did laugh a couple times. The gross stuff that goes on just completely gets rid of anything good for me.
I can ignore all the gross stuff because I did actually just ignore it. I just didn't watch it. So I'm going to give it at least a 6 because maybe a 5. Definitely a 5.
5 is average, 6 is fine.
Story made sense, and I like the fights, and I ignore the bad bits because I'm too pure for this world to pay attention to them.
So it's a 5?
Yeah, I'll give it a 5. I'll be kind. I like how all the training all pays off, and they like give little hints of everyone's powers before it happens, like Oba.
So you're giving it an 11?
This is pinnacle anime. Hey, that brings us to suggestions. I'm guessing Weeb suggests if you want a real sports anime, watch Haikyuu, right?
Yeah. Season 4 of Haikyuu or Season 4 of My Hero.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend Haikyuu, Run with the Wind, and what's another sports one that I like? Ace of Diamond.
I'm going to recommend Free because it's just the same thing but with boys.
I watched like 2 episodes of that because I was like, oh, an anime about swimming. I love swimming. Like, I'll check it out. And it was horrible.
You're not the target audience there, Weeb.
The target audience was perverts.
Yeah.
Yes. What's the next show that we're reviewing? Because we haven't discussed it.
For now, we're doing My Hero. We might change it later. Who knows? You can follow us at the AIR We Weeb on Twitter. You can email us at theairweweeb@gmail.com. You follow us on SoundCloud, review us on Apple Podcasts.
Hi, Madison.
And hi, Alex. And hi, Brian. And hi... I'm missing someone.
Hi, friends.
No, just fans. Not friends. Fans.
Oh, they're not our friends.
Our friends. Fans.
You know what? Everyone that Shawna just said, y'all suck, and we're not your friends anymore. Demoted.
No.
Hey, team, you got a weeb word of the day?
Unfortunately, I do.
Unfortunately.
Cool, because of the show, and I have a theme for every show that we do.
No.
So for this show, Keijo, the Wii word is going to be oppai.
Perfect. I knew it. I'm surprised Weeb doesn't have that sweater from One Punch Man. The oppai sweater.
How do you know I don't?
You wouldn't wear that out in
Weeb
public.
is classy.
I do have a belt, though, that has that on it.
That's not where that goes. What does that mean again? It means boobs, doesn't it?
Yeah, it means boobs. There's a lot of boobs in the show.
Almost more than there is butts, really, when you think about it.
I wish it focused more on the butts. The butts were infinitely more interesting.
Listen, there's only so many butts that the perverts can get off to before they're like, we need more. So they gave them nipples.
Ugh.
Wait, were they shown in the show?
At the end card where it's literally the teacher's dressed up as a giant boob, then they show the boob.
Then there is?
Yeah, on the end card, the teacher
Is that allowed?
It's like a cartoon, like, mascot costume, so it's okay. They can show it on the air.
It's still a boob.
The end song is playing now, so let's say bye. Bye! Have fun, guys. There's so many good anime references. That's what makes this show great.
Are there any Haikyuu references.
Yeah, they play with a volleyball on the beach. You probably didn't get to that.
It wasn't a volleyball. It was a beach ball.
Yeah, it was a beach ball, and it was in episode 3 as...
This is a true sport, unlike volleyball.
Yeah, as you watch your mouth, dude.
Listen.
You're about to get it.